All right, and we are live. I always like to wait for it to pop in that little card. There we go. All right. Welcome everyone. I am the fantasy commissioner. Today we're going to do our pre-draft or pre-meeting, sorry, not draft, pre-meeting. Just kind of go over what we're going to be voting on, and just happen to be luck of the day. We got a special guest here. Um, Former 2015 league champion Rich Nalette happens to be in town from Newberry. Unfortunately, if he's a week early,
Yeah, sorry about that.
yeah, it's okay. But we'll talk to Rich here in a second. The whole point of this is to just kind of give you like the agenda for the meeting, get some of the voting in your head for you to think about. Um, Obviously, we're going to recap the 2020 season, hand out our awards like we always do, and then we will also have our owner Hall of Fame vote. Of course, we're both already a part of that. You were last year's Hall of Fame winner.
Oh,
You don't even remember that,
I
do you?
do
Does it?
remember.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
The excitement got to him so much he was overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Took his breath away. Take my breath away.
Wow,
Sorry.
wow.
Um, and of course we'll have our draft lottery, which Raymond will be the one drawing that. I'll get more
He's good
on
with the
him in a
balls.
second. Um, but now I want to get to the beef of everything here. The meat and potatoes of the meeting is our voting. So the first thing we're going to vote on now in 2020, we voted on going to a 10-10-5, which means you keep 10 for 2 years and then go to 5. This year is the 5. Um, so I'm proposing, we have three options I'm proposing. Um, Now, first of all, no matter what, this will not impact the 5. The 5 will happen, the 5 keepers for this year, no matter what. Um, this is going on forward. So going forward, I would like us to go with well, first of all, there's the for going forward we could go 10-10-5, which is as is. I'd like to go a little farther with that. So the second option is 10-10-10-5, or the third option, which is the one I would personally like to see, um, four tens and a five. So basically, every 5 years we would keep five,
5 on 5.
5 on 5, and actually that's how it would literally it almost work out. I think in 2025 would be a five, and then 2020 or 2030 would be a five. So yeah, that's what I'm pushing for because in my opinion, just my opinion, um, 10-10-5 is not enough time for someone to build anything. Like even if you get remotely something built, um, you'd have to almost dismantle it right away. When maybe it, whereas 10, and if you do the four tens, for sure you have the opportunity to really get a full life out of some of your players. Um, the second thing we're going to vote on, and so this one's a little tricky, um, because some of this is a little bit dependent, but we have the ability to expand the actual championship playoff to 8 teams. Um, and this might impact the best of the rest tournament and it might not. The reason I say it might is I was looking up, researching some of it, but it only gave me on 12 teams, and we're a 16 team. So on a 12 team, it would actually eliminate the best of the rest tournament if we had 12 teams. I don't know if it does that with 16 because then we'd still have 8 teams. It would actually enhance the best of the rest because it would give all the teams that don't make the championship playoff, whereas right now there are 4 teams that are done after the regular season.
Okay,
Um,
I see that.
so I think it actually would keep the best of the rest tournament. And by doing that, it would actually enhance it by involving all the teams that don't make the championship playoff. The one downside, of course, if we went to an expansion in the championship playoff, the two top seeds would not get a bye. Um, and so that's that. And obviously, all this will get more in depth as we go. I'm just kind of getting the ideas out to you right now. The third thing I'd like to see us voting on is expanding the individual defensive players, and there'll be really in depth with that next week. Meeting is again next week. I don't know if I've reminded anyone about that yet.
Not this week?
Nope, it's next Saturday. Shut up. Um, so we did an XFL this year. And for those of you who've been around a while, you remember the XFL was a couple years ago. It was like just basically not the Vince McMahon XFL, but the
He hate me.
right. He hate me, but the experimental football league, and all it is exactly that. It was myself, Guy, Tony Mize, and Anthony were all part of that, and we didn't do a whole season. We just did a few weeks, and I also played around with some of the scoring, and that's obviously another thing we'll be voting on is scoring. But here are my recommendations. Option one is obviously to leave as is, which would be just one defensive back, one D linebacker, one D lineman, and a flex. Um, Option two, which is the full blown one, would be two defensive linemen, two linebackers, two DBs, and two flex. Um, Option three is two D line, two linebacker, two DB, and one flex. Or the minimum is one D line, one linebacker, one DB, and two flex. Um, and the reason I'm pushing for, I'd really love us to go full blown, because right now, if you look at our offensive players, we start one quarterback, two running backs, three receivers, a tight end, and a flex. That's 8 players, right? Well, in the NFL, it's 11 on 11 last time I checked. So why not go 11 or go 8 on 8? 8-man ball.
8-man ball.
8-man ball will be coming to the AFL. Um, like I said, I personally don't see it actually. I don't know if enough people would be interested in expanding the
That'll make the
individual
draft day
defense.
a lot longer.
Huh? The draft would be a lot longer,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And then obviously that would go into would we want to expand the keeper amount as well? That starts a whole other ball of wax. I get it. It's just something I want to get a discussion started of expanding our individual defensive players. Like I said, I'd be happy with just adding one flex. Um, Obviously, I said like we talk about scoring. Some of the scoring we're looking at possibly I'd like to see us look at is raising team defensive scoring, raise the individual defensive scoring. I'd like to see us. It has been talked about the quarterback yardage. Now, I did a model in the XFL where right now we're a point for a yard. So what I did was a point for every yard and a half. So it did bring it down a little bit. It didn't really hurt it that much though. Um, but also what I'd like to see is raise the negative points you get for a quarterback throwing an interception, raise the quarterback sack number. So if he gets sacked, he gets a bigger negative towards him, and also the pick six, which goes along with the interception, obviously. Um, and then obviously, if anyone has any other ideas on scoring, we can always look at that at the meeting. And then the final thing, and this is kind of something I've been muddling around, um, and not to be doom and gloom here, but obviously 2020 was a scary thing with COVID, and our family's actually been touched recently with COVID, unfortunately, and so it kind of gives you like, oh, man, your own mortality seems. Life is fragile. Life is very fragile, and this league is something that I hold near and dear to myself, and um, if anything was to happen to me, I'd like to see the league carry on. So I'm putting in for us to have a vice commissioner,
The VP.
a
Ooh.
VP. Um, my Mike Pence. Um,
Or
and just
or
for the
Kamala.
the sole purpose, and so basically I put on here is what do you guys think about adding one? Any suggestions of who it should be? Any volunteers? And like I said, the whole purpose is to keep this league going. I don't want to see me all of a sudden, unfortunately, drop dead tomorrow, and all of a sudden, well, league's done. I don't. I want it to go on. I want this to go on for a very, very long time. So, and I think we've built something really special here. Um, like I said I don't want to get too much into the doom and gloom, but that's the voting stuff. And if anyone has any other suggestions, you can get those to me before the meeting, or we always do open vote at the end if anyone wants to throw anything out there, which I think that's how the 10-10-5 came about. Um,
Or 10, 10, 10, 10, 5.
well, right now it's 10, 10, 5. Well, actually, right now I guess technically it'd be 5, 10, 10, 5
We could do
because
10,
this is
10,
the
2,
5.
20.
Oh, stop throwing. So, also the trading will open up at the meeting. Anyone's welcome to start discussing trades, but nothing can be turned into me an official until I call trading is open. And I usually do that somewhere after the voting is done. Um, let's see. Let's get to a few topics that are not voting involved, since we got this guy here. Let's see. I'm going to take care of the important stuff first, and that's you, Rich. So since he's here,
Oh
and we
boy.
have the opportunity to do this because he obviously doesn't come down very often. Actually, this would be the second time he's actually involved in something with the league, actually in person. The first time was when he won the 2015. He came down for his trophy, and
Came down
we.
for the draft the next year.
Oh, you did come down for the draft, and we have some great shots of that.
Oh, I bet.
Great shots, yeah. After the
Karaoke.
karaoke, yeah, that was a fun time. That was a fun time. I think Nick Ritz and my brother Chris had to carry out of the place.
It was
Uh,
fun.
he doesn't have too much memories of that, but we won't go into that. The photos have been sent to his wife. Let's just put it that way. But obviously, you're a two-time finals. You made two finals appearances in 2015. You won it. 2016, you came in second place. You've been in the playoffs, God knows how many times. This was the year of the turnaround. This was the year that the big dogs, if you say, took a step back, and some of the ones that have been pecking at our ankles finally came up and took control of the league. The Anthonys took control, and the Tonys, and obviously Efren winning it all finally. I know
He
there
had a
was a
good
lot of
team.
finally. Oh geez, what a year! What a year for Efren Keenan. Only two losses, and I don't know if that last loss was actually a gimme to Jimmy to help him get in the playoffs. And probably Jimmy, knowing Jimmy probably paid off Efren. Hey, can I get in? Can I get a bone here? And Jimmy, hey, think about it. We had the teams that had the two worst records last year both made the playoffs, and so you're looking at the two guys that fought for the best of the rest tournament final. And I remember the very last day. So the last day of our, he was texting me, "Congratulations." I'm like, "You're not done." And I think by halftime you had it won, um,
Well,
which
it
is
was.
the second time I've been in the best of the rest final, and I couldn't win it. The coveted best of the rest. So I'm gonna hand out the championship, hand out the trophy early. So the 2020 best of the rest winner, Rich Nalette.
Ooh,
This
thanks.
this has led to a lot of people the next year going to or not to the finals, but going to the playoffs. Um, although the team you beat, if I remember, the team you beat, John Kirk, which is Christina's team, um, he won it our first year, and then he played you for the finals in 2015. You beat him.
Okay,
So, I mean, maybe you'll be losing to me next year in the finals.
maybe.
I'm hoping for that. Um, any kind words on your acceptance speech?
I don't know. I'd like to thank you for losing to me, first of all.
Happy to oblige.
Oh,
Like my wife says, how come you never win this thing? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know. You've had some pretty good teams over the years.
Well, like Tony had pointed out, we've had 7 drafts, and I've had the first overall pick 4 times.
I can't believe how many points my receiver got at the end to beat you. I really didn't think it was a chance. I didn't, and he just went off. That Buffalo guy, I can't remember his name right now.
So put you in the hot seat here. I get this opportunity. So obviously we're only keeping 5. You look at your roster. So we got you here. What you got? You have actually one of the better teams. I mean, you actually
Uh,
had a legit shot at the. If he would have won one more game, he would have won his division, and he would have been in the playoffs. Um, let's see your team. Your team obviously is weak at quarterback,
yep.
so very obviously probably one of the best receiving corps in the league. Obviously, so I'm just gonna look at the names that I'm assuming he's considering. I don't know who he's actually keeping yet, but DK Metcalf I'm sure is a consideration. Stefan Diggs, Aaron Jones. You've kept him every year, I think. So I'm going to throw David Johnson still in there because he's
I don't think I'm keeping David this year.
Antonio Gibson. Let's see who else we got. I know you traded for him, so I'm going to say Drew Lock is a consideration. Kirk Cousins. Michael Thomas, I'm assuming would be a keeper, but
Yeah. He had a bad year, but I'm
um,
keeping him.
you look at your defense. I mean, Darius Leonard, you've kept him every year, and he's a huge point getter at linebacker. And then Bobby Wagner. Adrian Amos actually had a decent year. Um, this is a You're gonna have a tough choice at five. I mean, this is some tough choices just at 10, let alone just five.
Yeah. I'm definitely keeping Diggs. I'm going to keep Metcalf. I'm going to keep Thomas. And I'm going to keep Jones. I'm not sure who the fifth guy I'm keeping is. I'm really leaning towards the running back from
Gibson.
Gibson. Yeah, the running back from Washington. Running backs are just hard to come by, and I don't know. I just don't think I could get him back where I need him.
Um,
I was really disappointed in Perriman this year.
and Snell, you traded me for Snell, and he didn't
Yeah,
really. I
I had
thought
a
he would
couple
have had more
offers for
carries
Snell
actually.
early on, and I just thought he was going to do something, and he never did.
So obviously this year we're losing someone, not due to death or anything. For thank God. But Raymond has decided to step down. Of course, he's one of the charter members. Charter members are a dying breed. There's only 7 of us now, out of the original 14. But Raymond, you're still going to see him. He's going to stick around in a more official capacity. He'll be at our meeting, and he's going to be the one that drawing our draft lottery, and then he'll be at our draft or at our actual drafts, and he'll be kind of the one keeping clock management and making sure there's no shenanigans going on. Kind of
Hmm.
our law enforcer of the league, I think. Sheriff Bailey,
New sheriff in town,
Bailiff Bailey,
Bailiff Bailey.
take after his father.
Yeah.
Have to get him one of the um, little shout out here to Ricky Bailey, but get him one of the little
Yeah.
sheriff badges. But he stepped down, so little side story here. About a year ago, a little over a year ago, a bunch of us went down to Tennessee. Um, Rich was not one of them, but his sister went, and her family, and my family, and Efren and his family went. Raymond and his family went, and we were fortunate enough though to take his daughter Megan with us. And on the way back, she's like, I did this fancy football at Newberry. She was a senior previous year, last year.
They did it from one of her classes.
Yeah, one of her classes. Fancy football is a class. I mean,
No, it was just part of their class.
oh, it was part of the class. Still, I want that class. I can go back to high school to have fancy football class. But so she asked me, you got this league. If there's ever an opening, I'm like, all right, I'll consider you. And I'm like, you know what? What the heck? And so Raymond, I'm like, you know what? We'll keep it in the family, as Efren always says, and said, hey, Rich, talk to her, see if she wants to take over Raymond's team. And she said she did. So if you want to say kind words about your daughter, let everyone kind of know Megan a little bit better.
She's pretty shy, but she loves football and she loves metal music. So that's all I can tell you. She's like heavy metal.
Like Metallica, Megadeth,
Yeah,
Cinderella,
that's
Bon
the
Jovi,
later side of her heavy
Def
metal.
Leppard, all
Oh,
metal. It is considered metal,
I know.
right? Tony was very impressed, by the way, with the picture I posted where she's got the clutch shirt.
I'm actually wearing a clutch shirt underneath this one right now.
Tony, control yourself.
It's true. Yeah, we went and saw Clutch.
So did he. He got to go backstage.
The Rocky. Oh boy, we weren't backstage, but we were probably as close you could be to him without being on a stage.
If you come for the draft, if you're, and we're hoping both you and Megan are able to finally make it for this draft, um, Tony can give you some stories of he was at a concert. It was actually an early Slipknot concert.
Uh oh.
He was actually standing next to one of them. This is before anyone knew who they looked like.
Well, Megan knows who they all look like,
Now, but
even
this
the
is
dead
before
ones.
anyone knew what they looked like.
Right.
So yeah, he's a big Corey Taylor fan. I don't know
So is
why.
Megan.
I listened to the guy like some song. It's like I don't know if he wants to be like Guar, or if the guy wants to be like Eminem. I'm confused. I think he's confused. I think he's overrated. I don't like that he tries to sing Bon Jovi songs and other great songs because I think he's making fun of them because he can't sing as well as John Bon Jovi.
I
Can't,
don't know about
he
that.
can't sing as well as Joe Elliott. He's he's not in Tom Kiefer's category, in Tom Kiefer's wheelhouse. We know that. So, but let's look what Megan's getting here because obviously Ray's team and Ray in all his tenure of all his years in the league, he only made the playoffs once, very first year. But he's always had like this team. It's like every year, it's like okay, on paper they are going to make the playoffs or make a push. And I thought this year he was definitely getting in. I mean, you look at what she's going to have to choose from for her five. She's got Ryan Tannehill, Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown from the Ravens, Philip Lindsay, Nick Chubb. I would assume is going to be a
She'd have to
definite
keep Nick
keeper
Chubb,
there.
yeah.
Mark Andrews, top tight end for the Ravens.
Julio Jones.
Roethlisberger. I mean, he's older, so I don't know if
He
maybe
might
this is the year.
retire. I don't know.
But Julio Jones definitely is a top receiver still. Um, Edelman, I'm not sure because he is injury prone, but he's definitely someone she's going to consider. Beckham is another one. It's like I don't know what to do with Beckham.
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of.
On paper, the guy is still looked at as a top receiver, but he has not performed like he used to. But still, someone I'm sure will be considered. I'm not sure if any of the defensive players she'd probably look at keeping, but I mean, you could definitely pick a solid five there. I mean, I personally look at I'd go Julio Jones, I'd go Nick Chubb for sure, Marquise Brown. Um, there's not going to be a lot of tight ends kept, but I would strongly look at keeping Mark Andrews. And I think the final slot either goes to Beckham or possibly I'd say Philip Lindsay. The only thing with him is you got Melvin Gordon there now, and he's kind of taken over the show at running back. So I guess it depends where probably Beckham, what happens with Beckham. That's probably the X factor.
Yeah.
Or she could keep. I don't know if she keeps Roethlisberger. You might keep Tannehill, and she might make a trade. I mean, obviously trading is going to open up. Um, I mean, we definitely had a lot of trading last off season. Most trading we ever had. I mean, I think between Tony and I, there was 26 trades involved right there. Um, but yeah, so next week we'll have the league meeting right here. Confirm people showing up will be Dennis Byam, obviously myself. Um, who else said? Tony said he'll be there. Nick Ergang, um, Christina and Will are both going to be in the house. Guy will be here. And then from there, it gets tricky because I know Effort originally was going to come. Congratulations, Keenan family. They just purchased a home in the greater downtown Chicago area. So I'm not sure if they're going to be coming now, um, but we're hoping. And then I know Ross, Mark, Jimmy, and Nick Ritz have all said they want to come. They're going to try to come. If they make it, they might be a little late, all depending on work situations, obviously. Otherwise, they'll be able to catch us in the stream. I know Anthony's going to be catching us not on stream. He'll be the one that will not be able to watch a stream. He's already told me that. But we'll get his. I'll get whatever votes I need from him or whatever questions he may have for the meeting. Um, and then obviously, I'm sure Jordan will watch it. You and Megan, I'm sure, are going to be watching it.
Yep.
And then the ones watching it can just text when it's time to vote or whatever they want to say. Or I mean, I guess you could call too, really. Um, and we could figure out a way to how to get that on air. Um, but yeah, so the meeting will start. The meeting itself will start at 6. We're gonna have a red carpet event like we did last year. That's kind of a fun little thing where I try to bring people as they walk in the door, kind of say, "Hey, come up here. You need to wake up. It's like 9:30 in the morning here. I worked all night.
I slept all night.
Um, so I'm getting a little axe here from my daughter. She wants me to go take
Giving
her
you the
to
hook.
look at a car, and I think Rich might be coming with me. We're looking at a 2014 Equinox or a 2013 Terrain. Um, so she's excited about that. She wants to get going there. To Todd Wenzel, we'll give a little shout out to them. If you're looking for a home, contact Nick Ergang. Efren Keenan, the whole Keenan family can give a shout out to him for helping sell their home. And yeah, any shout outs you want to give?
No, not really.
No. So again, the red carpet stream will probably start. I'm looking between 3:30 and 4. We're gonna go over just kind of the 2020 recap stuff. We'll examine some teams, get people on the hot seat. That was fun last year. And yeah, so we're gonna end the stream here. It was just a quick one. I said it was just great to have him in house. Alex, if you want to pop in and say hi, you're welcome to. There's my daughter Alex. Look at how excited she is to go look at a car. All right. Um, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you here. Everyone's welcome to come anytime after 4 next Saturday here in house. And for those that aren't sure, just keep me in the loop of how it's looking, and if you're going to be able to watch the stream or not. If you're not, then I'm going to want to get in touch with you um, before we have the meeting. So about probably between 4 o'clock, we'll have a stream going. That'll be about an hour and a half, hour 45. We'll cut off for a quick break. Oh, food. We're gonna have the meat tray. People can make sandwiches. There'll be the draft punch as always. That's always a hit. And I mean, I'm sure we'll have baked beans or whatever side. I'm not sure if Sandy's world famous mac and cheese will be making an appearance. I know Raymond's always hoping for that. You'd love it if you were able to come down. So we usually have that for the draft. Hoping Tony can do the smoked pulled pork for the draft. So we'll find that out on next Saturday. And the game schedule will be released next Saturday. Who everyone's playing, you'll find out. Everyone will find out who they're playing in 2021, and we'll announce the keeper date, and we'll announce the draft date. So thank you, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.